This is a demo for unwinding the meridians of acupuncture on the conception vessel and the governing vessel. You'll remember the conception vessel starts between the genitals and the anus, comes up the front midline of the body, goes to the base of the tongue. The governing vessel starts between the tailbone and the anus, comes up the spine, over the top of the head to the top of the palate. So a simple way to unwind the conception vessel, which comes up the front, would be to go to conception vessel 2 right above the pubic bone on the midline. Just feel for where the electricity is. And then you can put one finger there and unwind that. It's going up towards the head, down towards the feet, up towards the head, turn around, going towards the tailbone. Still point, it's staying there. Unwinding, that's coming up. Back towards the tailbone. Coming up. Going back down. Then the other one is CB22 below the lower lip. So I'll just unwind that one a little bit off the body. It's going up towards the head, down towards the pubes and the tail. Coming up. Going down. Coming up. They're both moving very well. Then connecting them both together. Going up towards the chin, and it kind of arcs out towards the right side of her body. It's at the pubes. Coming up, it's still arcing out towards the right, so we're going to just let it unwind itself. That's what unwinding meridians is about, letting the meridians do what they need to do to unwind, to find their optimal health, well-being, consciousness. Oh, there, that's moving better. Coming up towards the chin. So now I feel it going through the midline all the way up and down, which is the direction that we want to have here. Coming up and down. Coming up. And there's a little gap right around the heart where we want to just let that fill in. Coming up. Pulling up earth energy through my feet and tailbone and perineum, bringing in heavenly energy from above, bringing the primordial chi from the ever-expanding edge of the universe, filling up with love, light, and joy of the universe. Well, that's moving well, that's good. There. And there was a little adjustment there. Okay, then the distal points to unwind the conception vessel are lung 7 and kidney 6. Lung 7 is 1.5 sun distal, proximal, the wrist crease. Lung 7 is 1.5 sun proximal, the wrist crease, on the flat side of the radius, by the styloid process. So just unwinding that, I'm feeling it going towards your fingers. Up towards the head, down towards your finger, up towards your head, down towards your finger, up towards your head. So I'm feeling the movement within the lung meridian, even though we're doing the conception vessel, which is in the midline front of the body. That's moving well. Then the balancing point is kidney 6 at 6 o'clock on the medial malleolus on the opposite foot, so it's 6 o'clock, right at the base of the medial malleolus. So that's where we unwind on the opposite side. We're doing opposite sides here. So I'm just feeling that go up towards the head, come down towards the foot, going up towards your head, down towards your foot, up towards her head, down towards her foot, up towards the head, down towards the foot. And that feels pretty good. Now we do them both together. So I'm feeling just a synchronicity between the two of them. So this is a way to unwind the conception vessel and balance it out on what's called the distal points. They're at a distance from the conception vessel. Going to the ankle, coming up to the wrist. And then I can feel the conception vessel itself going up to the chin as both points go up to the head, and it comes down to the pubic bone as both points go to the extremities. So both points are going up, and the conception vessel comes up to the base of the lower lip, goes down to the pubic bone and into the pelvis, goes back up to the lower lip, comes down to the pubes, the perineum, coming back up and down. So those are two ways to unwind the conception vessel. Next is the governing vessel, coming up the back of the body, over the head to the top of the palate. So the local points, you could just go to the tailbone. So you just feel the movement in the tailbone. Gently sliding in, finding the tailbone with one fingertip. So I'm on her tailbone. Let me show you what that looks like. Can you roll to your left side, Barbara? So I'm on the tailbone. You can kind of see where I am. Okay, thank you, Barbara. I'm back. Okay. So I'm unwinding the tailbone there. Feeling it going up to the head, coming down to the tail, going down up to the head, top of the palate, coming back down to the coccyx, the tailbone, going up to the head, back to the tailbone, up to the head, back to the tailbone. So that's moving very well. Then coming to the upper lip, GB26, right above the upper lip, the philtrum, on the midline, feeling it come to the lip, going over the head, down the back to the tailbone, feeling it coming back up for 3 seconds, and then going back up over the head, down the spine to the tailbone, coming back up over the head to the philtrum, the upper lip, and back over the head. So it goes down to between the tailbone and the anus, and then it comes up, it goes actually inside the mouth to the top of the palate internally. It's doing it very well there. So now I'm going to do both points together to continue unwinding the governing vessel. So I'm just making contacts on the tailbone and on the upper lip, on the philtrum between the nose and the upper lip. And we go down to the tailbone and perineum, comes up to the upper lip, over the head, down to the perineum, over the head to the upper lip and into the mouth, the top of the palate, over the head, down the spine, on the midline, that's moving very nicely, to the tailbone, back up over the shoulders, over the head, inside to the top of the palate, the vomer area, back over the head, down the spine to the tailbone. That's moving very well. And back, and once more, and down. And we get off in the middle. Then, to unwind the governing vessel from the distal points, the 2 points are small intestine 3, which is on the ulnar side of the palm. This is where the heart line goes across. It's that little divot on the side of the 5th metatarsal below the knuckle of the 5th finger, of the 5th digit. So that's over here. You can see that. Very good. So it's going up towards the shoulder, coming back towards the fingers, going up towards the shoulder, the finger. So this is small intestine, comes up the little finger, comes forwards and back, ends in front of the tragus on the side of the head. So we're just unwinding this point. That's moving well. And I can kind of reach through there and feel the movement of the governing vessel as it goes down to the tailbone and towards the finger, and it goes up to the head, and it goes up to the top of the head, also in the small intestine. Okay, then the opposite is bladder 62 is the distal point on the foot. This is at the base of the lateral malleolus, the outside of the malleolus, bottom, it's 6 o'clock there, bladder 62. So I'm unwinding that point, the vessel, bladder 62. That's moving up towards the head, back down towards the foot, up towards the head, back down towards the foot. And if you can sense the movement of the governing vessel while this is doing it, as the bladder meridian's going up, the governing vessel's going up. As the bladder meridian's coming down, the governing vessel's also coming down. So they're moving very well together. Now I'm going to do both small intestine 3 on the side of the fifth metacarpal and bladder 62 at the base of the lateral malleolus. So I'm unwinding both of those and tuning into the governing vessel going up from the perineum over the head to the top of the palate at the top of the mouth, down to the heel, up, and I feel it at small intestine 3. So you can feel it simultaneously, the governing vessel and its distal points are moving together. They're all coming down now, all going up, all coming down, all going up. And the governing vessel is moving very nicely. It's very central, medial. Comes in a nice path. And some points you might want to do would be conception vessel 1 between the genitals and the anus to nourish yin and benefit the essence. So it's in the base of the pelvis. Between the anals, unwinding conception vessel 1. Very good. Then conception vessel 4 is 2 above the pubic bones. 1, 2, you can feel where the electricity is. Conception vessel 4 nourishes blood and yin, benefits original chi, connects to the North Star. Always good when you're traveling. That's moving well. And then conception vessel 6 is 1.5 below the navel, tones chi and yang. So when you're doing a pelvic diaphragm release, you would have your hand on the belly, and you could tone chi and yang and yin and original chi and blood with your hand over the conception vessel there. So those are useful. Then GV1 is another point on the governing vessel. That's between the tailbone and the anus. So again, you could just reach under energetically to get governing vessel 1. That releases the weird from the ancestors, the strange behaviors, addictions, excessive behaviors, etc. Governing vessel 1. Governing vessel 4, I could reach under. It's between L2 and L3 in the back, the Ming Men. It tones kidney yang, nourishes original chi. It's the Ming Men, the gate of life. So that's good for energy. Then GV11 between T5 and T6 on the back. That's good for memory. GV11 between T5 and T6 is good for memory. Then on the top of the head, governing vessel 20 helps the brain, connects all the yang channels, the crown chakra, the Big Dipper. So it's above the ears, on the top of the head, on the sagittal suture, where that little dip is. If you have a fingernail, you can feel that little dip there. Yeah, and vessel 20. Goes with the Big Dipper and the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, Big Dipper, all the yang meridians, helps the brain, opens the crown chakra, and vessel 20. Governing vessel 26 is in the middle of the philtrum, above the upper lip, below the nose, GV26. That's to wake people up, brings blood to the brain. If they fainted, this will wake them up for resuscitation. It helps to open the corpus callosum. Helps with memory. Opens the corpus callosum, GV26. Then between the upper lip and the gum is the frenulum, GV28. That's for hemorrhoids, so you would pick up their upper lip and just unwind the frenulum. If they have hemorrhoids, you'll see a little blood blister on the frenulum there, so you can unwind that, and that'll get rid of hemorrhoids. Very good.